of this crisis, William Hague, the Foreign Secretary, who'd flown back early from a trip to Australia, held 2 further meetings of COBRA. That's the emergency committee made up of ministers, Whitehall officials, security chiefs and so on that meets during this sort of crisis. After the first meeting of the day, Mr Hague told me that he'd also spoken to the Algerian foreign minister. He'd made further offers of British help, technical help, intelligence help, experts in hostage negotiation and in rescue missions. At that point, Mr Hague was saying he feared the number of British people in Algeria unaccounted for was fewer than 10. He said he feared there would be bad news to come. Well, after the second meeting, Mr Hague confirmed that the number feared dead was now 5. The Prime Minister also revealed that he had spoken by the telephone to the Algerian Prime Minister. And after that phone call, Mr Cameron said that after his phone call, the Algerian PM had told him the site was still dangerous and there may be explosives that will need to be dealt with. But he said the terrorist incident was now effectively ended. Mr Cameron confirmed 1 British citizen has already been killed in this brutal attack. He said, "We now fear the worst for the lives of 5 others who are not yet accounted for." Mr Cameron also said it was the government's priority now to get people home as quickly as possible and to look after the survivors. Many are already home or on their way back, he said. Over at the Foreign Office there is a crisis unit where there were, during the day, there were about 100 people working. That's far more than normal. There were consular people there. There were police there acting as family liaison officers to help those families affected by this and the families of those people who may have been missing or may have been taken hostage or simply to arrange travel back home. So while the fighting, the bombing, the shooting may be over, the diplomatic work goes on, and there's now bound to be a statement in the Commons on Monday from Mr Hague where many questions will be asked about why the Algerians spurned offers of help and why the rescue attempt was bungled, if it was bungled, and what lessons can be learned. Also questions no doubt about the wider issue of Al-Qaeda spreading its net throughout North Africa.
John Craig in Westminster. Well, in the last few hours we've also heard from President Obama. In his first comment on the hostage crisis, the US President said he seeks a fuller understanding from Algerian authorities of what took place. In a written statement he offered to provide assistance to the Algerian government, but stopped short of providing any information on Americans caught up in the siege. Well, we have the latest for you on the hostage situation on Murnahan later on this morning. At 11 o'clock, Dermot will be speaking live to the Foreign Secretary, William Hague. And just before that, he'll be speaking to the Shadow Foreign Secretary, Douglas Alexander. That's at 10 o'clock. Now, 4 people have died in an avalanche.